You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheme me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
I want to welcome everybody to the hot seat. Thank you for tuning on in. We have such a great show. We're going to be talking about some serious things. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to clear the air about. We're going to put some people on the hot seat. We got a great line and list of what we are going to do. Going to make sure that we do all of that for you guys. For those of you who are tuning in, this is a great show. And you know what? You never know what's going to come out of my mouth, anyone's mouth, or what's going to be put on the news. But when we get it, we do something with it. That is what we do here on the hot seat. Let me go ahead and stop that for you guys. Go ahead and get this. We're going to have a great one. Great show. Before we get started, thank you for everybody else who may be tuning in or watching this on the replay. We have a great show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just get right on into it and go down the topics that we are going to be going over and who is on the hot seat. Now, unless you have been hiding under a rock, just about, I would say 98% of Black people in the United States know about what's going on with, I call her Mary J. Hayward. Those of you who are in the Black community, you already understand that I'm talking about Mary J. Blige. And then we all understand when someone says you go on Mary J. mode, anyone that Black knows exactly what that means. If you don't know what that means, you will learn today. Here's where you get to learn about some Black stuff. Okay. Now, this mayor is psycho nuts. She's doing a whole lot of things. And She's under a lot of scrutiny because of a lot of the decisions that she makes with the taxpayers' money and everything on how it goes splurged on her. But I'm going to give a shout out to my man, Tyrant Terminator Audits. He is the man in Illinois. He handles everything there. So if you want to get the best information on what's going on, especially with your First Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, everything, all of your rights, he goes down. But he specializes and covers Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who is dubbed by me Mary J. Henyard. So you go to his channel, check it out. We also do know that Long Island Audits, Sean, he's been doing some things and going on, but to get all the info up to date all the time, you got to go ahead and check out Tyrant Terminator Audits. Black guy, does his stuff very, 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 very well. So it's great to see a black person going against a black person who was doing something wrong. So it shuts all the people who talk about all this other stuff up. So we're going to be going ahead and getting into all of that. If you ain't heard what's going on, then I don't know where you have been. You don't watch the government. You don't care about your government politics. If you live in Illinois, you live in Chicago, you live anywhere to where she is going to be around, and you don't know, shame on you for not knowing anything. And if you don't know who's on the thumbnails and all this other stuff, you guys go keep watching your Kardashians and how to do your eyebrows and Botox lips, and guys want to get calf implants, and we just want to go ahead and look at all that nonsense. That's nonsense, because you won't know what's going on in your reality. People like that, we got to wake those people up. We need them woke, because they follow those people and then they end up believing mayors like this. We're going to get into another topic. Okay. Is he lucky? White kid gone wild. This white kid gone wild. This video and that clip that we are going to look at on that is brought to you by Dashing with John. Now, I'm a gig content creator also, people. And what I like to do is I film when I go into places. When I see arguments and stuff, I film that. I've gone viral doing that several times. And John knows exactly what he's doing. Dashing with John. He caught an incident, people, where this white kid went wild. And we're going to see now, when people say race, we're going to see if it was a black kid or a white kid. Since they want to say, what if it was a black person? We'll say, what if it was a black person in this situation here? We're going to look at that. And he filmed that while going to pick a delivery up live on camera on his show. People, we don't make this stuff up. That's why it's on the hot seat. Thank you, Dashing with John. Now, we are going to get into racial prejudice undertones. We already know I put that argument up with me and Real Talk with Roy about the police incident. And right after that, the guys that he was on there with, I caught them speaking exactly how they feel, using words like us, them, they, all that about us black people. Then went to try to go ahead to go on another content creator, the amazing hustler Dennis, who is someone that I've been doing work with, and we go back and forth on each other's channels and everything. Someone from he has a rogue moderator, and they actually banned me, and he didn't know until last night. And Dennis, I was talking to you last night off the camera, and I can't go on. I had to use my wife's phone because one of your moderators went rogue. And I'm going to say, if I'm going to start an investigation, it starts with the person that goes over and hangs out with Roy, because she's a moderator on yours also. So if I was going to start an investigation, it starts with that person right there. So you would have to go back and check your YouTube and go ahead and check your StreamYard, because I will not be able to, even when you say Reese, come on up, like when you say salute the hot facts and you say come on up, and like I tried last night, I was not able to, because you have a rogue moderators. You don't do that to the person who you are supposed to be helping their channel out with, because they find out live on the air and they don't even know what to say. So Dennis, you got an internal problem there. But with this whole same thing, the person that was up there and the other guy, Thunder, that was up there, they went up there to talk. But as you notice, when you spoke specifically and said, what about our community and blacks calling the police on our own, none of them had anything to say at all. Whenever you said something like that, they stayed quiet. They were trying to prove a point by saying that they can go up and talk about black issues and stuff like that, but they were quiet. I was watching the whole time. That's why I wanted to get up there. But you did have some people that were pro-black and pro certain situations to where they didn't even want to get into because of what it is. But thank to Hot Facts with Robert Reese. I had them speaking about black and white issues and things going on Mr. Flex is where they were talking that stuff at, which we're going to play here. And then they went over to yours. So Hot Facts had a huge influence on them trying to have a discussion but still staying quiet while I was watching. That was their mistake. And I took from what they said from when the argument when me was done, and then what they said when they were up there with you, and we're going to compare the differences in the speech. And that's why we're going to come up with racial and prejudice undertones. People, when you do your investigation and do your research for the news, you go ahead and do it. Okay. We also got the next part, why hide? Okay. Why hide goes into that too. We're going to go ahead and get into that. Also, what's going on now, there's the Attorney General in Missouri. Okay. They're trying to charge a 16-year-old black girl for beating up a white girl. And because there were injuries, they're 16 years old. Because of the injuries, the white girl head hit the ground when they fell. So they're trying to charge her as an adult. And then they're also trying to they're trying to use reverse racism on how someone of color would do, and they're blaming it on social media and things like that. But they're 16, and the backstory of that is, before we do go ahead and get into that the black girl was picked on by the white kids, and it happened that they fought outside of school, and the white girl lost, and now they want to throw the 16-year-old girl in jail and charge her as an adult. So we're going to talk about, should you just be talking crap? And if you get beat up and that happens, we're going to figure out, because we got people that say, if you didn't put yourself in that situation, it wouldn't have happened. So should the black girl be charged as an adult? We're going to go ahead and get into that. Okay. Now, Florida. Okay. The state of Florida needs 60% vote to legalize medical marijuana for anyone 21 and over. We're gonna get into that. Thunder, we all know you smoke, you do the bongs and all that stuff. We know you do on that, so this will be great. You wouldn't have to hide from your people anymore. Now, let's go ahead. Now, the food delivery gig apps, okay, they say that they're going bankrupt. We will be speaking about that, and this is a continuing story from a story I did last year about a gig place, and we're going to be go ahead and doing that. And also, we have someone that left the scene in the gig world, but since we're talking about the hot seat and money and everything, with the bankruptcy, there's a new way of making money on DoorDash, and this content creator says that he found the new terminology to go ahead and make sure that everyone can go ahead and make money new on DoorDash, while they're saying that the food delivery apps are going bankrupt. So that is what is going to be on the hot seat, and we are going to have a great one today. Now, for those of you who do not know, let me go ahead. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and pin this link, because at any time, anyone can go ahead and click this link. And if you want to speak your mind, give me one quick sec. All right, so I just pinned that message there. And Dennis, when you told me last night you were going to pin the link at the top, I wasn't even able to see it pinned. So you really have a rogue moderator. But hopefully you can click the link, or if anybody else wants to click the link, because we're going to start off, people. We're going to start off with what I call her, Mary J. Ratchet Henyard. A lot of you guys know that Mary J. Blige is not a singer like they would say what Clive Davis says. He says Whitney Houston is the greatest singer of all time. He says no one sings like Whitney Houston. It's not the Mariah Carey high-pitched voices or the Aretha Franklin or the Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Anita Baker, not no voice like that, but she did have a church voice. And when you grew up in church and singing in the choir, Mary J had a church voice. Growing up doing it like that, but then when Mary J went from there, transitioning into doing the stuff with Bad Boy and P. Diddy and doing the stuff with Method Man and all that stuff, Mary J turned into being ghetto fabulous. Now, what I mean by being ghetto fabulous, Mary J came from the hood. Her speech and everything did not change. They put her in movies and everything. And then she turned out that my cousin Stan Lewis was her keyboardist, going on tour and everything, doing his thing with her. Stan played at my mom's funeral, played at my son's funeral. My cousin Stan, that's her keyboardist. So Mary J. Blige went up, and my nephew's mom, Koya, rest in peace. Growing up, Mary J. Blige was her favorite. If she was crying and everything else like that, my mama say, Koya, if you don't go put your Mary J on, you gonna be mad all day. Okay, and she go play the Mary J because my mom knew she wants some Mary J. Blige. Here's the thing: Mary J. Blige got big doing songs with Jay-Z and all that, so she had to have an entourage. She had to have security guards. She had to have, because when you're traveling with Jay-Z and all these people and Bad Boy, these are people that are out there all the way. So she needed a convoy, security team, right? Celebrity traveling all around the world. We need this, right? Okay. Now here's the thing: why it's called Mary J. Hayward Ratchet Mayor. We don't know any mayors who are out there trying to look like they are living on MTV Cribs. Okay, we don't see mayors actually, and this is where the Donald Trumpism comes in. All the things that she can use the money for, she goes above and beyond. Like, the mayor is the president. The mayor needs a convoy of security, 8, 9 SUVs, needs all the units on deck wherever I go. All that stuff. Renting out places for meetings, right? That cannot accommodate the people who want to speak when they know something is going on. On top of that, when she is in the meeting, she cuts people off, shuns them off. She goes in there and says, well, it says the mayor can get all this: jewelry, designer clothes, the cars, the homes, taking everybody's money, taking away security, police officers not being out there on the street. But then check this out: she has homes that she rents out that people have to move out of because it's infested with mold. She's getting Section 8 housing credits, over $30,000 from one house. Okay, and the mold is not fixed. The people have mold. You see them growing on their shoes, their shirts, their walls. When she's asked about it, she doesn't even answer it. She tries to go and talk about something else. So not only is she a slumlord, she doesn't care about the community, the people, the protection of the citizens, but she blows it on these expensive cars and jewelry, hair done and all this stuff, going into the meetings with poor people from the inner city who don't have the money, but she's using their money to go ahead and do it, and she's stealing it, and everybody knows. But what she's doing is, well, let's allocate this money and put it over here. Let's allocate that money, put it over here. Let's consolidate that right here. We're going to make it look like it's going there, but that's going back to me so I can do my vacations. There is not one mayor who's out there balling like that. There used to be one in the city of Bell out here in Southern California. He had a whole staff under him, and they all got fired. Some resigned, some got fired. They were making millions of dollars every year, They were rigging votes. They had the police chief. The police chief and the mayor. The mayor is the police chief's boss. So like the police chief was like, man, I can't do nothing. You're over me. So all that stuff is happening now. You'll watch these meetings that she's in. She'll talk down to people and all that, and then say, well, go ahead and speak. When they speak, okay, that's enough. Now there is I forget his name. There's a black gentleman who attends. We're in his area. He goes off on people, calling them all the names. She's on the same level as him, but at least he's trying to get things fixed. She's trying to take everything and put it in for herself. I'm going to show a clip right now, and this is from Tyrant Terminator Audits. Best one out there. Him and Sean are really good. And against the press, I really don't like him and his son. They go out there to purposely like cause a reaction. They're not really doing the rights. They're causing something so that they can say. But Tyrant Terminator Audits, this man is great. Now at this meeting right here, we're gonna see how she kept the people from getting in because she rented out a place that was too small. It's against the law for any mayor or someone to rent out a place that cannot hold the people who are supposed to be getting inside there. She's renting out smaller places to keep the money for herself, using your taxpayer dollars for whatever she wants to do after this. He's also going to speak to a couple police officers who are there as her entourage. She came up with the entourage and she has them spread out around the block like she was a mob boss, and they're just sitting there watching. So this video is from Tyrant Terminator Audits. I know Hannibal put a video up. He just found out about him and just put one of his videos up yesterday. This guy is in there. I've been watching him for a long time. I watch his interviews on radio shows and everything. My man knows exactly what he's doing. Check this out, people, and look at Mayor Mary J. Hayward, the ratchet mayor. Now watch this.
But this is the state of mind where they at right now, though. This is ridiculous, man.
Show them receipt, Henyard. Show them receipt. Show them receipt, Henyard. Show them receipt.
Yeah, this is shameful, man. Disgusting.
You talking to you don't even live in Dalton, girl. Lay in the grave, don't sit down. I think you're looking at me. Get these plants out of here.
Hey,
let us in.
Hey, my man. Tell my viewers what happened to you and your mother. Okay. What's your name, brother?
My name is
Julius Elliott. Hey, just let the people know, man, exactly what happened to you and your mom with this tyrant, man. Hey, we ain't them, but them definitely bullet holes. Wow. She got her motorcade out here like she's some type of president or something, pulling up 4 or 5 Tahoes, all of them $90-something thousand a piece, but she overpaid. What'd he say? Man, what he's... Hey, that was a police talking? What, coming from where? This guy right here?
No, with the lights on.
That one down there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go holler at him. Man, I can't holler at you. Was that you? No, I'm saying, was that you on the loudspeaker? Oh, okay. Making sure. I'm gonna find out what... Over there? Yeah, what is it, Sergeant? Lieutenant? Oh, that was you, Lieutenant? They doing something to violate everybody's rights. You gonna get some banging and kicking and ranging. Right, but banging on the doors. But you understand why, though, right? Okay. But you don't agree, do you? We hope not. What in terms of them locking us out like this? Right, but you know what? With a meeting like this, Tiffany was supposed to hire. She was supposed to go rent out something bigger so everybody could attend. That's actually a law. Oh, okay.
All right, so it's a law. Now check this out. You know how, a lot of people say, well, black people, we don't see you. Look, you see all those black people, okay? Those are black cops to black mayor. The black mayor is a tyrant. We don't like that black mayor. She can be a white mayor, Asian mayor. We don't like mayors that do that. We don't like that. Black people are speaking up against one of their own who is doing everything wrong. Now, did you see how many police vehicles are out there? Not like he said, $90,000 Tahoes, barricaded, bullet holes in the venue that she rented out. Now, I'm not you. Unless you are a ratchet mayor, how are you going to rent out a spot with bullet holes in it? Now, people, they did not go there shooting at her, but maybe she needs that entourage in case she gets shot at. But she rented out a place that cannot hold everybody with bullet holes in it. Now, I'm guessing she purposely picked that place to go do that in, so she can say that justifies all the lavish spending she is doing. I guess she says that if the money's not always going to me directly, I'm going to spend it so I can use it. Okay? Do you follow what I'm saying? She knows she don't need all them Tahoes. She knows she don't need all the police force out there. She knows that. But she wants to arrive like she is Donald Trump. She wants to arrive like she is Putin. She wants to arrive like she is Nino Brown in New Jack City. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Nino Brown in New Jack City. Give me one quick sec. All right, people. So she's doing gangster things, taking people's money, doing all of it. Now, this is one of those situations where you would think, because of all the racial tensions that's happening all around the United States, especially what you guys know what happened to me in the conversations I've been getting in, this is something that you think would have been brought up. Well, how do you guys feel about that black mayor doing all that stuff? You see how we feel around the United States. You see how whites feel about this, Asians, Hispanics, the Polish people out there. You see how they feel about this. You see how they feel about this, how we feel about this. This mayor needs to be taken out, put away. I mean, there are, first of all, you've all seen the the mug shots. She's been in, she's done everything, but she needs to go. And I'm not saying the next person that they do put in is going to do a better job, but I think the job that is going in right now that she is putting up, anyone can do better than that. I think you can go to the San Diego Zoo, go get you an orangutan, and the orangutan can sit up there. As a matter of fact, I think you can get Tilikum, killer whale, so smart. And for those of you who don't know, Tilikum is his offspring around the whole world and what they do. You get Tilikum. Tilikum can sit there inside that wet tank and run the office better than her. I'm telling you. And he'll do it for a piece of fish, a bucket of ice. He'll do it just to watch the Free Willy movie because he want to leap on out the tank. He tired of getting held down. but he can do a better job. He can do a better job. He can do a much better job. This mayor needs to go. She's ratchet. She's ratchet. I mean, super ratchet. Now, from everything that she does, and we all know that when you're dealing with these politicians, a lot of the politicians who have everything in their back pocket. Now, I'm not saying it is what's going on, but a lot of them are involved with the street level crime also, and the higher echelon level of the street crime, if you know what I mean. We don't know if any of that is going on, but chances are some of these cops are dirty cops. Okay? Some of these cops are dirty cops. Craziest thing is you probably got some you probably got some. This is where like racist cops come into play to actually help. You probably got some racist white cops who don't want to follow the lead from somebody black like that, so they'll be helping trying to get her out. So I'm glad we have those people watching. She needs help. And if you are out there and you're not trying to get her out, something is wrong. She's taking away, like, let's say you are a FedEx driver, you know, and you're driving into some of these areas where you know the crime level is high and there's no protection there. She's not paying police. She's taking police out of certain areas. She's taking them out of schools and everything. She needs to go. And, you know, plane flights, vacations, boats, everything. But I will say this, you got to blame Donald Trump for this. He taught people in America how to get over on America, and to however what level you are going to be doing that. Someone from the street can learn to make money for themselves and actually grow bigger, right? Someone at a higher level can actually go ahead and do that, right? So if you are a politician, if you are in that same field and he's telling you how this is what I did, well, you can go and do it like that. It's in the rule books. They let you. That's what she's doing. And really, no one will really do nothing unless they find something crazy, which is why these homes that she has under Section 8, that she has tented with all the mold, hopefully that does something to where she cannot be mayor. Because what if one of the kids in one of those homes gets sick? What if one goes to the ICU? Something like that happens. She cannot be mayor anymore. She has to resign. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen, but if they can't do nothing now because the police chief and everybody is in her back pocket, you kind of gotta hope and wish something like that happen. And we don't want to see a child or anybody get sick. But that's the type of situation this dirty mayor puts you in. Mary J. Hayward, ratchet mayor, wants to be at the Soul Train Awards. Now, imagine this. Remember Kamala Harris when they showed her at some gathering with Joe Biden, and she was sipping a glass of wine or something, and she was just bouncing her shoulders to whatever R&B song it was?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
She was doing that, right? And while she was doing that, they were saying, oh, look at the vice president. Look at the vice president. She's out there dancing, enjoying hip hop and stuff. They did that because she was black. Right? But here's the thing. She is on Joe Biden's side all the way. This mayor, this ratchet mayor, is all about the, hey, let's take this money, let's do all that, let's do this, let's do that. You know, they really ain't hitting her. If Kamala Harris if she was ridiculed for bouncing her shoulders like this and drinking some wine, then this mayor's stealing thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They got to go above and beyond for that. I'm just saying. They got to go above and beyond for that. This mayor needs to go. She's giving us black people a bad look. But at the same time, I'll tell you this. When there's 1, there's 10. When there's 10, there's 100. When there's 100, there's 1,000. I will tell you this, though. There's white people out there doing it. There's Hispanic people out there doing it. It's going on. It's just that right now, here in California, like I said, in the city of Bell, the Hispanic group got hit with the full thing, right? And they had to resign and get fired. It gave the Hispanics a bad look. This is giving us black folks a bad look, and is making people say you can't trust a black person in high places. That's just what I feel about that, and that is very, very sad. This mayor needs to go out there with all that damn shit, all that damn shit. Now, gonna get into this one right here. Is he lucky? White kid gone wild. I want everyone, when you watch this clip, since they always say, well, what if it was someone black? This is where we will say, what if it was someone black? This video is from Dashing with John while he was live on his ride-along, okay? There's a Karen, white Karen, so it's not no black against white. White Karen, this is white on white, okay? White on white. White Karen and a spoiled brat, Karen-raised white kid who thinks he can say whatever he wants. I'm going to ask you, what if this was a black person, black kid? And I want you to also think of, this is the major thing, how bad this could have turned if someone else in this establishment was ready to put in work. Dashing with John, thank you for this one so much, man. Gladly appreciate this one. Gladly appreciate this one, people. We're going to watch this one right here, and we're going to get, like Sean says on Long Island Audit, let's get into it, because we're going to get into Real Talk with Roy and Thunder and all of them. And it is this one right here.
What's that about?
No, I ain't gonna relax. Now when you come in here talking about crap, I ain't your mama. I don't care. You're talking about how to see a gun in your pocket. Shut the fuck up.
Get that footage, John.
My fucking husband.
What's that about?
No, I ain't gonna relax. Now when you come in here talking about crap, I ain't your mama. I don't care. You're talking about how to see a gun in your pocket. Shut the fuck up.
Get that footage, John. What's that about?
No, I ain't gonna relax. Now when you come in here talking about crap, I ain't your mama. I don't care. You're talking about how to see a gun in your pocket. Shut the fuck up.
Get that footage, John.
My fucking husband.
What's that about?
No, I ain't gonna relax. Now when you come in here talking about crap, I ain't your mama. I don't care. You're talking about how to see a gun in your pocket. Shut the fuck up.
Get that footage, John.
All right. You heard her say, that's my husband. Now you heard this white kid say he has a gun. He's arguing with a Karen who was white. And he said, I have a gun. If it was a black kid that said he had a gun to that white Karen, cops are called. Hands down, cops are called. He said he had a gun. John's sitting there recording like, man, like he said he had a gun. I don't believe he has a gun, but, you know, he said he has a gun. What if he did have a gun? And he shot that lady. That's white privilege right there, to think you can just say I have a gun and I can just talk to people, ain't nothing gonna happen. Because as you see, the police did not come. When Dennis said, walking down the street and not getting harassed. We're gonna play that clip, Roy. This is a situation. If a black kid, if a young black male said that to that white lady, I have a gun, police would have been called. That's white privilege right there. That's a prime example, Roy, if you ever want to see one. That's white privilege. Now, chances are, if he said he had a gun and someone that has a right to carry may have shot that kid because they felt threatened because he's threatening someone in public that he has a gun and he's yelling, violent yell. If someone pulls out and puts them down, are they wrong for putting them down? What if an undercover cop or off-duty cop was in there? He pulls out. The kid don't know it's an undercover or he's off-duty, and he reaches inside his sweater that he had. Whatever he pulls out his sweater can get him shot. Okay? Whatever he pulls out his sweater can go ahead and get him shot. Okay? That's a prime example of white privilege, Roy. I can go anywhere, say what I want. Chances are I have parents who have fed me with a silver spoon my whole life. I don't get in trouble. Like Thunder said, not even punishments. Don't even have to. Well, I don't have to do any of that. I got a gun. I can threaten you with a gun. That's a terroristic threat with a gun. The police should have been called. White privilege says that it's not going to get called. Is he lucky? Now it says, is he lucky, white kid going wild? I do believe that's going wild. If anyone does that, it's going wild. If that was a Mexican kid, someone would have said, well, they'll call the phone. Hello, 911. Yeah, we've been threatened by an illegal immigrant with a handgun. He's threatening all the customers in the store. That's exactly what someone would have said. Or watch this one. Watch this one. Hello, 911. We have a young black male threatening a white woman in the store with a gun, and his hands are in the sweater. What's he wearing? We're sending units now. Okay? This white kid talking to her all crazy like that. I got a gun. No one called. No one said anything. Not one white person in there called on their fellow white person. That's called white privilege, Roy. That video is a prime example. He said he had a gun in a store while someone is doing gig work is in there. He could have got shot by doing gig delivery because of this punk ass kid. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. A lot of you guys don't want to talk about this stuff. We're going to talk about it. It's here on the hot seat. We're going to talk about it. I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. What if it was a black kid, Mexican kid, Asian kid? Hello, 911. There's an Asian out here screaming very, very loud, and I think he may be a communist. He says he has a gun. Just like that. Just like that, y'all. Just like that, y'all. Just like that, y'all. I'm glad all these talks have been coming up around the United States. We're going to get all the way into this for them people that say this and this and that. There ain't no white privilege. There's no, we go get into all of that right now. This is the hot seat. And for those of you who want to know, when you watch the argument that Roy and I had, Roy tried to prove a point and say that he took the video down and everything and he put it to a video. Well, check this out. He put that video right back up to a live. So I guess HotFacts was doing something right. But that argument, how intense it got to prove from both sides, that's what the hot seat is all about. Don't be afraid and don't go on to a show and not say what you guys say when you're by yourselves with each other on someone else's show with other people who think a certain way. So, people, we're going to get right on into this. There's a channel talk show host by the name of Real Talk with Roy. We had a huge debate. Racial undertones, tones. Prejudice, undertones, same thing with the guy named Thunder. Well, this guy he went up and didn't even speak about when someone was trying to ask him about the issues and things like that. He would not get involved. He will not do it, but racial and prejudice undertones, okay? Racial and prejudice undertones. Now, we're going to get right on into this, okay? I'm going to play you the first clip after My argument that I had with Real Talk with Roy about the 6 white racist police officers that sodomized, tortured, okay, and tried to execute 2 black men for living with a white woman and tried to make it look like a murder for hire from someone else. They're going to jail because it came to be that they did it because they found out they were living with a white woman. Racist cops. He forgot about all of that and said, well, what if they were black? And why aren't you talking about the black cops that beat up the black guy? We talk about that, just like we bringing up the ratchet black ass mayor. We don't like her. We bring us up, but you don't switch and try to cover up for the white people when they're going to jail for what we're talking about. Sodomizing, torturing, and trying to execute 2 black men to make it look like a murder for hire, and they got caught. But to say, what if they were black? Now, right after that huge argument, that he said, I don't feel like there was nothing wrong said. You got up there, you were in a hot seat. You came, you spoke. I appreciate that. You tried to clear up and say that the live went to a video when it clearly wasn't, because I checked, and then you took it down, but then you put it right back up. Now, people, you are going to hear these guys use words like them, they, their, why do they, their own laws, everything. Now, what you're going to hear right now, this was on Mr. Flex's live show, Dennis, the Amazing Hustler. They were on Mr. Flex's live stream, not Roy's, not Thunder's. They were on Flex's, okay? Now, during this right here, Roy is saying, just like how I went on the Amazing Hustler, I went on Dennis's channel, and they're in there saying this, and he's talking about, I'm talking about white privilege, and he's saying, black people walking down the street, and he said, I'm tired of them saying this, so I try to hit them with the point. So they, and look at what these guys do. That's what they. Whenever you do that, that is a racial prejudicial undertone. And I'll give you a prime example. Whenever I'm going to say they, them, those guys, there, maybe that might be for neo-Nazis, skinheads, the Klan, things like that. Now, if I'm talking about militia groups, things like that, them, they, all of those people who go out there doing terroristic acts and punishing and terrorizing people doing bad things. That is them, they, and all of that. When you say them, they, those guys, why do they think like that about a certain race? That is prejudice. This is how you separate that. And I don't think you grown-ass people out there have ever even understood that. So now we're going to watch how angry they were after my argument and how they start using them, they, why do they? And then you'll hear Thunder say something like, what gives black people the right, or they want their own. You're going to hear all of this. Then I'm going to play you, okay? It's going to say, why hide? I'm going to let you hear everything that was said here when they went to a channel to go voice themselves and speak up about the black stuff. None of that was done. They switched all the words out. So instead of they, them, and all that, it was you. Let me ask you, not they, them, and all of that. That lets you know that they understand they can't say that to the black person because it's going to be prejudice. That's how you know it's undertones. And these people cannot sit up here and say I'm lying, because you're going to watch and hear how they sound. Real Talk with Roy, Thunder, Flex, driver's up there, but he ain't saying nothing else like that. Watch this clip. I told you guys you were on here for the second day. And they said, what do we do? Well, you're about to hear what you did. This is why this is the hot seat. You are about to hear. Let me see. Let me do it like this because I don't want to click the wrong one. And I think it's this one right here. Here we go.
Talking about we have white privilege. I asked them a question, they couldn't give me a fucking answer. They go, being black and walking down the street without being harassed by the police. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, that's not a privilege, that's prejudice. If you're black and you're walking down the street, it's not a privilege. Because what I asked them, I said, give me an example of what privilege I have as a white man that you don't as a black man. Well, you can walk down the street without being harassed by the police. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, okay, so I said, so you're saying then I asked them, So what you're telling me is that no white people ever get harassed while walking down the street? No, they do. But I say, okay, so that destroys your privilege. And you know how liberals are. Well, it's not the same amount. It's black, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to hear it. If it was a privilege to be white and walk down the street.
He gave percentages higher.
I know how liberals are. They're intelligent and rational.
Well, it all depends where you're walking and what I mean.
No, because if you were white and we were privileged that we could walk down the street without being harassed by the police, that means no white people would ever be walking down the street getting harassed by the police, correct?
Yeah, if that was the case.
Well,
So
when I was hitchhiking, man, there were times I've been harassed by the police for nothing. And by today, man, if I knew what I knew now back then,
it's the way they worded it.
I think they have a lot of shit with me harassing me.
Yeah,
they try to justify their bullshit
as a card, and they could walk around freely and nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They try to justify well, it's not just to the same amount as black. It doesn't matter. If I have a special privilege,
community covering.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I lost my shit, because they're disingenuous, bro. You can't. When I ask you a specific question and it goes against everything you just said, I don't want to hear your liberal bullshit. Well, it's little. I don't want to hear that.
It's not liberal. That's racist shit. Here's the thing there, that's not that. So you would have to say, if you think there's privilege, what right do I have that you don't have? There's no rights that a white man has in this country that a black man doesn't have. So there's no privilege there. But there are bad cops that go out there and harass black people, and that's a different story. That's not about privilege or not. It's not a privilege that I'm not being harassed. It's a problem the black person is.
It's a risk.
The cop said.
What did he say there? What did Roy said? What did he say? He said they're I'm gonna play it again so you guys can hear it again. He said they're it was something specific there. He said they're in something. But people, there you go. There you go. And in case you want to hear it again, I'm gonna play it again. Fuck it, I'm gonna play it again. Listen to all the them, theys, their, why do they? And that's why I lost it, because when you ask them, they're just speaking about black people. Those are prejudice. Speaking about a whole that's for a whole group. That's why I say when I say them, they, their, why do they? It's about bad groups, maybe a gang member, terroristic groups, not a population of a race. Racial undertones. Now it's time to call this stuff out. People, this is why there's not a lot of black people in the gig world with the channels, because a lot of the white people don't support them like that. They want to use the black person so that they can get their views, but they don't ever want to talk about the stuff or what we want to do. They just want our help, support, subscribe, be our token black dude, apologize if you ever feel a certain way. That's how it is. That's white privilege. Roy, I'm gonna let you hear yourself again. Them, they're just so. Man, don't be talking about my black people like that, G. Don't be talking about my black people like that, G. These are people that, look, you guys all hear this stuff. You guys all hear this stuff. Them, they, all these. Stereotyping and everything. Listen again.
Talking about we have white privilege. I asked them a question, they couldn't give me a fucking answer. They go, being black and walking down the street without being harassed by the police. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, that's not a privilege, that's prejudice. If you're black and you're walking down the street, it's not a privilege. Because what I asked them, I said, give me an example of what privilege I have as a white man that you don't as a black man. Well, you can walk down the street without being harassed by the police. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, okay, so I said, so you're saying then I asked them, so what you're telling me is that no white people ever get harassed while walking down the street? No, they do. But I say, okay, so that destroys your privilege. And you know how liberals are. Well, it's not the same amount, it's black, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to hear it. If it was a privilege to be white and walk down the street.
He gave percentages higher.
I know how liberals are. They're intelligent and rational.
Well, it all depends where you're walking and what I mean.
Because if you were white and we were privileged that we could walk down the street without being harassed by the police, that means no white people would ever be walking down the street getting harassed by the police, correct?
Yeah, if that was the case.
Okay. So you can't.
When I was hitchhiking, man, there are times I've been harassed by the police for nothing. By today, man, if I knew what I knew now back then,
It's the way they worded it.
I think they have a lot of shit with me harassing me.
Yeah,
they try to justify their bullshit
as a card, and they could walk around freely and nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They try to justify it by, well, it's not just to the same amount as black. It doesn't matter. If I have a special privilege,
community covering.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I lost my shit, because they're disingenuous, bro. You can't. When I ask you a specific question and it goes against everything you just said, I don't want to hear your liberal bullshit. Well, it's still liberal. I don't want to hear that.
It's not liberal. That's racist. Here's the thing there, though.
Disingenuous. You hear Mr. Flex say they gave higher percentages. He also said they have a card that they want to use, and they think that they have diplomatic immunity over it. Who is they? They have a card that who is they? Who is they? Flex, Prejudice, Thunder, Prejudice, Roy, Prejudice. Who is they? That's why I lost it. They're just so disingenuous. They're just so disingenuous. It's so shocking, people. This is people. It's so shocking. Look. And after this one, I'm gonna let you hear how he sound on Dennis when he was talking to him. He didn't say, "Hey, Dennis, you're disingenuous." No, you don't hear Thunder saying, "Well, what privilege?" And you don't hear him even jumping in. Listen again. This is Prejudice at its best. The hot seat. That's why I got the hot seat. And I want people to explain, since you want to try to say, well, what if someone was black? Explain why all of you guys are saying them, why they, diplomatic immunity, and saying, yeah, agreeing with it. Come on now. Now let's watch it again for the third time.
Talking about we have white privilege. I asked him a question. They couldn't give me a fucking answer. They go, being black and walking down the street without being harassed by the police. Like, what the fuck? I said, that's not a privilege. That's a prejudice. If you're black and you're walking down the street, it's not a privilege. Because what I asked him, I said, give me an example of what privilege I have as a white man that you don't as a black man. Well, you can walk down the street without being harassed by the police. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, okay. So I said, so you're saying that no, then I asked him, so what you're telling me is that no white people ever get harassed while walking down the street? No, they do. But I say, okay, so that destroys your privilege. And you know how liberals are. Well, it's not the same amount. It's black, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to hear it. If it was a privilege to be white and walk down the street.
He gave percentages higher.
I know how liberals are. They're intelligent and rational.
Well, it all depends where you're working and what I mean.
Because if you were white and we were privileged that we could walk down the street without being harassed by the police, that means no white people would ever be walking down the street getting harassed by the police, correct?
Yeah, if that was the case.
Well,
So
when I was hitchhiking, man, there are times I've been harassed by the police for nothing. By today, man, if I knew what I knew now back then,
it's the way they worded it.
I think they have a lot of shit with me harassing me.
Yeah,
they try to justify their bullshit
as a card, and they could walk around freely and nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They try to justify by, well, it's not just to the same amount as black. It doesn't matter. If I have a special privilege,
community covering.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I lost my shit, because they're disingenuous, bro. You can't. When I ask you a specific question and it goes against everything you just said, I don't want to hear your liberal bullshit. Well, it's still liberal. I don't want to hear that.
It's not liberal. That's racist. Here's the thing there. That's not that. It's so you would have to say, if you think there's privilege, what right do I have that you don't have? There's no rights that a white man has in this country that a black man doesn't have. So there's no privilege there. But there are bad cops who go out there and harass black people, and that's a different story. That's not about privilege or not. It's not a privilege that I'm not being harassed. It's a problem that the black person is.
Where the cop said
Crazy, huh? Now they're talking about white privilege, right? Now, do you see when that clip starts? There's a black guy. People, I'm in the basketball community too. That's on Player's Choice. I'm on that panel all the time speaking about basketball, and they talk about the politics and the racial things that are going on over there. That's Caitlin Clark, the white girl who Ice Cube offered the $5 million contract. Now it says white privilege because out of all of the black stars who are coming up doing the same thing and making a change, they're trying to do it for her. And they have went into the white privilege thing to say, is it the white privilege? It's going on in basketball. Another one going on. It was just undisputed yesterday. LSU women's basketball team. You guys know Angel Reese and all that whole crew over there, right? There was a story put out by a journalist. Now we all know that the regions there, Louisiana and all down there, that region is racist. You know, that's where a lot of the racist shit is. An article got put up, okay? An article was put up, and they're trying to figure out how did that get cleared to get put out, because when you're a journalist and you work for a newspaper or a company, you have to send that in and the editor approves it or it doesn't go. Someone approved it, but in the region where it was approved is typically a racial area. So now they're talking about the person who approved it. They're saying, I'm not saying that that's what he did, but we do know in this area, this is where a lot of racism is. So it's going all over. It's going all over. We don't just make this stuff up and you guys say, well, it doesn't go on. These are actual real tabloids and stuff. Real ones. Now, we're going to get into the next part of this with Real Talk with Roy. And he actually was brave enough to speak to Dennis, but he toned it down. Those prejudice undertones, he toned them down. So last night I was watching, he was kind of saying it without saying it, and like, you know, when they saw Reese and then they saw me up there, I know they were terrified and just shitless. I was taking my wife to the gym, so I wasn't able to get up there and boom and be up there with the other black dude that was giving the words and stuff, because it would have made them look like a completely different way. So that moderator, and I know who it is. It's the one with the chick or whatever it is. That's the only one that goes over with Roy. When the last time you were there, you were like, Hot Facts, go come on back. Right after that one, I'm banned. And you say, yeah, Hot Facts, come on up. You got a rogue moderator. Okay, you got a rogue moderator. Why hide? Now, this is something that I do agree with, that I actually said on Dennis's channel not too long ago. I was up there on his panel. I said that if you're in an all-white area, obviously more of the crimes there is going to be white. If you're in an all-black area, Hispanic area, that's how it goes. We do know that, but we do know that this country was built off the work and the slave work of us niggas or niggers, however you want to call us, if you're racist, prejudiced, or whatever. The blacks, the Negroes, the African Americans, the high jumpers, the sprinters, the gangsters, however you want to classify us. Okay, however you want to classify us, it all goes down like that. I have said that, but we are going to listen to Roy. You heard all the stuff he was saying, and that's where I lost it. And then they are just so, well, let's listen to how he was speaking when he's not in someone's face. He's actually on camera. And this is how he says it when now, because Dennis has more people that watch. So while more people watch, they have to tone down what they say. When they are with their friends, they say whatever the fuck they want to say. But that's why the news will always screen record and get that. You can't run and just talk shit. That's why Thunder knows now I'm not going to say shit like that, because Reese will find me. He'll find me. Now, I want you to listen to Roy right now when he was on Dennis last night. The Amazing Hustler.
White people are harassed just as much as blacks and Mexicans. And that all also determines on your area. If you live in a predominantly black area, Of course, the cops are going to deal with more black people. If you deal with in an all predominantly white environment, the cops are going to deal with more white people. Same for Hispanics. So it's such a disingenuous argument to sit there and say what they said. And that's what sets me off, because I'm willing to listen. I'm like you, Dennis. I'm willing to listen. If you can prove to me what my point or there's some kind of wrong in my point, I can listen to that. But I cannot stand when you're not willing to listen and you're being disingenuous. I can't do it.
Now check this out. He said, remember the first time he said, that's why I lost it. You ask him a question and they're so disingenuous. He said, I have nothing wrong with going over a disingenuous topic. Not the person is, because he's speaking to the person that he says is like that. Do you see how he switched that? Then he said, well, if he said there and he had to switch it up to say, if there is something wrong with what I said, no, bring that same energy you had the first time. Because on Mr. Flex, you said I was over on Dennis, the Amazing Hustler, and he did this, and I talked to him, and you were talking bad about him. I didn't put that part right here. I got right to the point. But Dennis, go on Mr. Flex's live stream yesterday. He's probably watching in his car right now. He can't go back and edit right now because I'm doing my hot seat right now. So this will give him the chance to not be able to. So go to Mr. Flex's lounge yesterday. Okay, click on it. Go to where Thunder and Roy and Jaded Driver are on screen. Go to when all four of them up there and just listen. He was talking about you. Where I pick up there, he's talking about you. He says your name and your channel, talking to you. Then he gets up there with you and redirects it so it sounds a little bit more politically correct when he's speaking, because there's other black people up there. Remember when I told you guys they have the conversations with no black people up on panel or no one in the chats? That's how they sound when there's no one on panel and no one in the chats. When someone is in the panel or is in the chats, they sound the other way. That's how you know it's racial or prejudice undertones. It's so easy to see. It's so easy to see. Flex saying them, they have diplomatic immunity, all that stuff, people. All of that stuff was before someone was black, was on the panel, and black people in the chats. I'm going to do it again. Listen to how they speak and sound when there's no black people on the panel or in the chat. Then listen how it sounds when there's black people or black people in the chat or in the panel. Let's listen to the first one when there's no black people around. Marcus wasn't even up there. Watch. I went to the chat and said, you guys are going to be on the hot seat for this for the second time. He said, for what? We didn't do anything wrong. Well, do you hear what I'm saying? You didn't get that when it came out your mouth? Listen to this, people. This is how it sounds when there's no black people around. Then I'll let you hear how it sounds when a black person is around. This is how you know it's prejudice, racial undertones. You can't make this stuff up.
Talking about we have white privilege. I asked him a question. They couldn't give me a fucking answer. They go, being black and walking down the street without being harassed by the police. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, that's not a privilege. That's prejudice. If you're black and you're walking down the street, it's not a privilege. Because what I asked him, I said, give me an example of what privilege I have as a white man that you don't as a black man. Well, you can walk down the street without being harassed by the police. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, okay. So I said, so you're saying then I asked him, so what you're telling me is that no white people ever get harassed while walking down the street? No, they do. But I say, okay, so that destroys your privilege. And you know how liberals are. Well, it's not the same amount. It's black, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to hear it. If it was a privilege to be white and walk down the street.
He gave percentages higher.
I know how liberals are. They're intelligent and rational.
Well, it all depends where you're working and what you know. What I mean,
because if you were white and we were privileged that we could walk down the street without being harassed by the police, that means no white people would ever be walking down the street getting harassed by the police. Correct?
Yeah, if that was the case.
Well,
yeah,
okay. So you can't.
When I was hitchhiking, man, there were times I've been harassed by the police for nothing. By today, man, if I knew what I knew now back then,
it's the way they worded it.
I think they were a lot of shit would be harassing me.
Yeah,
they try to justify their bullshit
as a card, and they could walk around freely and nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They try to justify it by, well, it's not just to the same amount as black. It doesn't matter.
If I have a special privilege, community covering.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I lost my shit, because they're disingenuous, bro. You can't. When I ask you a specific question and it goes against everything you just said, I don't want to hear your liberal bullshit. Well, it's little. I don't want to hear that.
It's not liberal. That's racist. Here's the thing there. That's not that. It's so you would have to say, if you think there's privilege, what right do I have that you don't have? There's no rights that a white man has in this country that a black man doesn't have. So there's no privilege there. But there are bad cops who go out there and harass black people, and that's a different. That's a different sort. That's not about privilege or not. It's not a privilege that I'm not being harassed. It's a problem the black person is.
It's a risk. The cop said.
They try to justify their bullshit. You also heard that too. Okay? You also heard that too. Now, this is how it sounds when they're on screen with the black person.
White people are harassed just as much as blacks and Mexicans, and that all also determines on your area. If you live in a predominantly black area, of course the cops are going to deal with more black people. If you deal with in an all predominantly white environment, the cops are going to deal with more white people. Same for Hispanics. So it's such a disingenuous argument to sit there and say what they said, and that's what sets me off, because I'm willing to listen. I'm like you, Dennis. I'm willing to listen if you can prove to me what my point, or there's some kind of wrong in my point. I can listen to that, but I cannot stand when you're not willing to listen and you're being disingenuous. I can't do it. Listen and you're being disingenuous.
All right, now, people. There you have it right there. Now check this out. I'm about to drop a big bombshell on the gig world. Okay? The gig community, that, I'm a news channel in the gig world, and I like to talk about the different areas, ethnicities, food, and all that. John said, were they all white? Yeah, on the long one that you heard for 224, yeah, they're all white. All those guys are white. All those guys are white. When he spoke to Dennis, who was black, it was obviously, if they're in the black area, they're going to be dealing with more blacks. It wasn't all the other stuff. And then he got to the disingenuous. They try to justify their bullshit. Flex says they think they have diplomatic immunity. They think they have a card that they can use. All those theys, them, and all that stuff, that don't fly, people. That don't fly. That don't fly. That don't fly at all. Now, I got something to drop on the gig world. Everyone laughed at me when I said that I am looking for an openly racist delivery driver so I can interview. And everyone said, what? You're really trying to find that? And they all laughed at me like, why? Because I know that there's at least one person out there who just don't care, who will want to go ahead and do it, right? Okay? Exactly. Dashing with John. Exactly. You got to have some representatives up there. And when the reps were up there, they did not want to talk about the stuff they were saying by themselves. That is crazy right there. Now, when I told you guys I'm looking for that, and everyone said, you're crazy, won't no one do it. By all the racial stuff going on now, that I've been pointing out and calling out, especially when you go deliver. You can be in Little Haiti, Little Africa, Little Cambodia. You can be in these areas and you can be shunned out because you don't belong in there. You got to talk about that stuff, right? You got to talk about that stuff, right? Now, I said, I'm trying to find one, and they all laugh. Yup, and Jaded Driver and all those guys laugh. But check this out. When I'm doing things like this, and you get people to go ahead and speak, and then you catch them speaking, I'm actually finding the Prejudice drivers. These are delivery drivers that do gig work, people. That means they have to drive around, go to your door, and they're going to mix with all the races, right? This means that if they go to a black person's house who don't tip, and we all know what no tip, no trip is and how they talk, man, F that. And they may get to their car and say, F that nigger. I'm finding racially prejudiced drivers by what they are saying openly on a public forum, speaking with their peers when they feel that no one else is watching. When they feel no one else is watching and you get to hear them speak, when they start using them there, I get mad. I don't know why they think like this and all that. You are hearing it come out. There may not be an open driver that's willing to just say, look, I'm a skinhead and I do gig work. No, but what you will get is they're disingenuous. They try to justify their bullshit. They think they have a card. They think they have diplomatic immunity. Where do you hear that from? That's racially motivated speech and racially targeted speech. So I don't got to sit someone down and find one driver that is racist, because that's one of my ultimate goals, to find that and interview one. Racist driver sits down, racist white driver sits down with black reporter. I would love for that to be one of my videos. But since I can't find it, when things happen around the world and people talk, which is why some of these people say, we don't want to have political talk on my channel. We don't want to have ethnic and race talk on my channel, because what it does, you are forcing them to say how they feel. I don't give a fuck if y'all know how I feel. I'm not racist. Let me look at my wife's hand. My wife is right here. Look, licked her hand. I'm not racist. That's my wife. I'm not. My wife be around me when I talk about black issues and all that. My wife been in my family's house. We talk about, look, I'm going to tell y'all, my brothers, my cousins, my uncles, we got white people that come that we're married to and with kids and everything. They come to the houses and they get in the discussions about this shit too. They married into it. And guess what they do? They give insight. Well, you know what? When I was growing up, yeah, we had people like that, man. And I was so happy that we moved away because I didn't want to grow up like that. No, we get all of that. We talk about the stuff. You should not be afraid to stand on how you feel. What my man was saying last night on Genesis. Don't be afraid to stand on what you stand on. Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. All black people aren't racist, but if all black people were racist, would you blame them? Being shipped over, treated as slaves, being raped, tortured. White people was like, oh, I didn't know that if a white person rapes a black girl and they have a baby, we thought they would still be chocolate black. We didn't know they was going to come out light skinned and almost look white. No, them horny ass motherfuckers wanted some black ass. And then beat us, sold us. Up there on the slave block, the white owners, the white women owners also, there's movies on it. They will go up, take the slave's pants back, look at their penis and say, yes, I want that one for me. And so he can breed to make more slaves for me on my plantation. That's how we were treated. So if all black people here in America were racist or prejudiced, would you blame them? Just imagine this, a boat full of white people from Europe and all over come over, say we found the land and we go take these spices and claim this is ours. We're gonna beat up everybody else, and only us who came on this boat have the rights to all this land. Nobody else matters here. We'll enslave them, then tell them that they matter a little bit. That's how it happened, people. It ain't rocket science. We got people right now to this day. These big major corporations, Johnson & Johnson, and all these companies, man. A lot of this stuff is slave plantation money. Now, you're going to tell me that your family history is not going to be intact, especially when it comes down time for wills and who the business gets handed over to and all the other stuff. You don't think they going to say, someone going to say, well, you know what? You are doing too much with the blacks. If you keep doing it, I'm going to cut you out of my will. You will not be part of this business. You will not own it. I don't want it to be ran to the dirt. You don't think that happens in America? You don't think that happens in America? So when we want to talk about issues, it wouldn't be on ESPN, ABC, Fox, all the different sports, all the different everything. How's it pop up in every single category, every single genre of everything? I just spoke about it being inside the journalistic realm. How is racist stuff being cleared to get put out there? Because someone down there, that's who they are. They cleared it. Sponsorships, money, all this other stuff. Jane said it right. And y'all get mad when we want to talk about it and bring it out. Well, check this out. I talk about it and I don't care. People that are afraid to click a link and really talk, you are giving a miseducation to somebody else out there who can be learning from all of this. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about that? Don't go to your boys club and say that, well, can't no one see us on this camera talking like this? Idiots. Then Thunder says, Reese, well, if you go doing videos like this and we lose subs, your channel can be taken down because of no, Thunder, are you hearing and seeing what I'm doing? You see that question mark there? Why hide? Why do I have question marks up there for what my topics are? They're questions. Why am I showing actual videos of it happening so you can give a reaction and a reply off of it, Thunder? And when you hear, you can make a judgment based off of what you are watching, Thunder. You got to go back and just research and think about what you're saying. I'm not saying anything. I'm playing and I'm reacting to what we are all watching. That's just like the DoorDash revolution lying and saying that I said that he got out the car aggressively and he could have been carrying something. I never said all that. It's on the video. He's a big fat liar and all the rest of this other stuff. He was saying just like this. Well, the video that Reese has, y'all, is not real. It's edited and all that shit. It's right there real. It's right there real. Real video. His video. Now, what y'all saying? Reese and Rev. Oh, well, what if Rev was white, Reese? He ain't white, he black. This is one thing the Rev might watch this live stream and agree with what I'm saying. The dashing investor. White and black people smoke weed at the same rate, but black people get arrested 4 times more. Just imagine that, people. This is coming from a black man. Where he is in California, I'm good. I ain't got to worry about that. But wherever you guys are, it's like that. It's like that. And you got to understand that. There are certain crimes that they already categorize that they want black, like more black people are going to be doing these crimes. Now they talk about, yeah, the blacks are on the street doing this and that. Well, look at all the high end crime, money laundering and sliding money out of corporations, being like Bernie Madoff and all that. Yeah, you might get some Mexicans and some blacks out there on the corners doing it. They ain't like the mob doing it like that. But then you think about it, you get like Bernie Madoff and these people, these lawyers stealing millions and millions of the people's dollars out there. That's more than a couple 20 sacks of weed. The fuck y'all talking about? Let's put the money there. Then let's look at who's putting the guns in those cities. The police are. When they go do these raids and they go snatch these drugs, they go undercover. They go make deals with the people and put the guns and the drugs right back in the communities. And tell me y'all don't think that's happening. If 6 white cops can sodomize, torture, and act like they were the murder was going to be a hit for hire, and it backfired, come on now. We have already seen officers taking money from crime scenes and putting it inside their pockets. We see officers, when they don't find nothing on someone, plant drugs and weed in the car to take them to jail. Most of those videos are of black people or people that live in an area to where they say we don't care about them. That stuff has got to change. And we can't have people in the gig world who have to do customer service for their job to be thinking like this. Now that lets me think that, well, you may be unassigning orders because someone's name might be Shanika. Someone's name might be Jerome Johnson. I ain't gonna take this to Jerome Johnson. That's a black name. I'm about to unassign this one, man. He ain't gonna tip me. That lets me know you guys probably do stuff like that by what comes out of your mouth, and you can't say it's far-fetched. There's a home that I delivered to. They put black tar, chewing tobacco on the doorbell. So anyone black cannot ring the doorbell. They say, how do you know? Well, whenever you have 88 as a flag and the lightning bolts and you got a swastika on your porch, that means that's a skinhead house. It says, and the sign says ring doorbell. When you look at the doorbell, how can you push it with all that black chewing tobacco on it? I have a video on people. Go to my chat channel, type up booby trap doorbell. That's the video that it's in. Type up booby trap doorbell on my channel. When you go search through my channels, my videos, type up booby trap doorbell. I'm not lying about this, people. I put it on camera. That's why I'm the news. I report stuff like this to show you what's really real out there. And for those of you who don't know, I used to work for one of the main skinheads in all of America, at least in California and the United States prison system. Don Mazza. Type up Don Mazza on Gangland. I had to quit working for the company because they had the home energy company as where all the skinheads go to work and stuff when they get out of jail for halfway houses. That's how they were keeping them, making their money, doing all that. 88 swastikas, runes all over themselves, going to each other, giving handshakes like this. Hey, brother, all that other shit. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Delivery drivers. And here's another reason why people don't want to show their faces on camera. They say stuff like this. So then they just put an avatar up. Now, we got this one right here now, y'all. I'm going to bring this up. Is it racist? Or is he doing it for votes? All right, now, all right, let me take this banner down right here. So what we got right here, this is the black girl who they're trying to charge as an adult for beating up the white girl. The white girl has been bullying the black girl for days, and her and her friends, what happened was the white girl was by herself with the black girl. The black girl beat her up. They are both 16 years old in high school. The fight did not happen in school, but as you see the viral video, you can go ahead and check it out. The white girl's head hit the ground during the fight. There's damages there. I'm not gonna give the name of their name. They're 16 years old. You can go ahead and check the video out. There's damage there. They said she looks like she's doing all right now, but the attorney general, people, He blames, check this out. Okay, check this out. He blames viral brawl on diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Okay, and inclusion policies. So, in other words, he's trying to go the other way to make like this, like the racism thing, right? So, like, this is the racism thing, right? But this is not the racism thing, but he's doing it. Now, he's going to be up for election. As we all know, everyone's going to be up for election. Is he doing this, people? Is he doing this because he's trying to get put back? Is he trying to do that because he's trying to get put back in office, to be put there, get votes, get a real good case? Let's go show that we can protect the white person, the black person doing it, and it's something that we can actually push. We can charge someone as an adult to show them how serious we are about punishing people here. Let's go ahead and get this in. Let's do it while I am running for election. So did he do it because it's racist, or did he do it for the votes? I'm kind of torn on this one, to be honest. I am kind of torn on this one right here, just for the simple fact that it could be a little bit of both now. It could be a little bit of both. He could be racist and he could be doing it for the votes, or he's looking at it as like, this is just one huge case that can help propel me in moving forward in my endeavors on what I actually want to do in the future for myself. I'm kind of torn on this one, but to try someone as a minor, at 16 years old, as a full-out adult, I didn't think you can do that. I can see if it was a super murder, like I'm talking about like a super murder, y'all. I'm talking about some 1985 murder movie type deal, like that. All right, I can see that, but a fight that you instigated with your friends previously, and you've been picking on the person. People, this is why they tell bullies, sometime you'll pick on the wrong person that will fight back, and the outcome is not going to be that great. Let me know what y'all feel about that right there. Now, here's a good one right here. I know that Thunder is in Florida, and he may actually like this right here. Let me go ahead and get this up for him. Thunder may actually like this right here. Let me go ahead and get this video next, because I only got 2 more clips left.
It's already legal here in the state of Florida, but voters will have the chance to decide if places like this one right here, cannabis dispensaries, can sell marijuana to anyone 21 and up. The Florida Supreme Court has given the go-ahead to put legalizing marijuana on the November ballot. If passed, anyone 21 and older can buy and use up to 3 ounces of it.
I don't think this is something that Florida wants to have. More drug use, more addiction.
It's exciting. It's big news. Over half of Americans live in a state with legal adult use. So I think the tide is turning.
We'll see this similar disagreement play out come election day. 60% of voters have to say yes. If passed, medical marijuana and other state licensed centers can grow, process, and sell marijuana. No medical card required. Luke Neferatos has seen what can come from legalizing it. He's from Colorado.
I'm concerned about the impact on kids. I'm also concerned about the impact on our roads.
Potency of marijuana is the root of his concern.
Gummy bears, candies, concentrates, waxes, all targeting our kids with a potency now that's up to 99% potency of THC. That's the ingredient that gets you high. 99% versus 3% in the Woodstock days. So we're not talking about hippies anymore.
But Martha Rosenthal feels legalizing it could be safer.
If you don't have your medical card here in Florida and you want cannabis, you're getting it from a dealer. And you do not know what you're getting anytime you're getting an illegal drug from an illegal source. And we do see fentanyl showing up.
To her, a big step towards safety starts with education.
There's a lot of misinformation. Some people believe there's no risk factors at all. There's no side effects. You can't get addicted to it. They're wrong. There's some people believe there's no safe use. It's terrible. It causes schizophrenia. They're wrong. So I would really support, as part of this, some education.
If the voters do end up approving this ballot initiative, Florida will become the 25th state in the country to make recreational marijuana legal. But how it's regulated here in the Sunshine State is all up to our legislators. In Tampa, Jada.
All right, now, so Florida wants to join 25 other states for 21 years old. Go in, buy you some weed. Okay, legalizing it. Okay, legalizing it. Now, Florida, I do think that the people will vote. You'll get secret voters like Thunder who smoke but don't want no one to know he smokes, but he does it on camera. So I don't know how you can do that. But you'll get people like that to vote for it to get put in place. Now, what I will say is California needs to get on Colorado's level, because in Colorado, because of the medical marijuana and marijuana period, what happens is when it comes to your state tax, income tax, everyone there gets like $1,500 back from the state tax. So there you go there. It works out there. Now, they was like 99% now potency of THC, because that's what gets you high people now. And he said in the hippie days, it was 3%. Who was doing the testing in the hippie days? I would like to know. If they doing all this testing now, they're like, why did that? Who was doing the testing back then in the hippie days? Now, I'm pretty sure the person that was up there talking bad about it, he was like, well, no, I'm pretty sure he smoked his fair share of weed. He probably was on mushrooms and not weed. And that's why, that's why he acts and feels that way. Or he got a bad trip. Now, the lady said that the dealers out there, you don't know what you're gonna get. People ain't nobody finna mess with nobody weed like that unless you did something grimy, or you are you smoking with somebody you don't know. Somebody might do a P-dog and put coke all over your stuff and you don't even know. She said, well, we got people even with fentanyl. Now, I don't know what person is putting fentanyl on weed, but if you even look at fentanyl, you turn into stone. So I don't know who's putting fentanyl on their weed. Florida, hurry up and legalize it, because the state is going to be able to use that money. What will you guys do with that money? I don't know, since you're already taking away social media and you got weird laws where you can carry a big ass gun as long as you're going fishing or hunting. Like, it's weird. So, but you guys should legalize California, Florida, Texas, New York, all of the Chicago, all of the majors should already have it in, because they always talk about how can we get people to put more money. We can't raise taxes because people are we can't keep raising taxes. But if you legalize something that people use recreationally that they don't mind spending money on, chances are they're going to put money in that, and you can use that money to help go in, so you ain't got to raise all them taxes up. So states, start looking into it. Florida, people, 60% to legalize it for 21 and over. Okay. Now, my man also said driving and accidents. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. People, you really don't hear people crashing on weed. You know why you don't hear people crashing on weed? Because normally when people smoke weed and they're driving, some people, I ain't even gonna lie, they may focus better like that. Some people don't drive because they get sleepy. Some people smoke weed and just go eat food, so they ain't even go drive anyway. And after they done eating food, they not gonna move. So there's more accidents with alcohol and people. She already said they mixing fentanyl with weed. Hopefully we don't get people mixing fentanyl with alcohol. I'm just saying, people. I'm just saying. Hopefully that does not happen. But Florida, you are on the hot seat, because you're about to do something really, really good. Something really, really good. Now, we're going to get into this next topic. And what's on the hot seat. Okay, food delivery going bankrupt. Now, a lot of you guys know on the hot seat, I go over things that's happening around the world. I go over things that's happening here in the U.S., political issues and everything. And also, since I'm the official news channel of the gig economy, I bring gig economy in at like the very end, kind of like how you do weather and sports on the news show. I bring in the gig economy coming into the tech side of things like this. Okay, so food delivery going bankrupt. And I'll go ahead and put this up here right now so that you guys can see. Okay, now I know you guys know that I did this story about Waiter last year. Okay, I covered this story about Waiter last year. Now Waiter is in they changed the name to ASAP and everything else there to try to do some stuff. Now Waiter is in 22 states, 500 cities, and what happened was with Waiter, they were having a hard time with keeping up with the food demand because you have Uber Eats, you have Grubhub, you have DoorDash, you have Easy Cater, you have Deliver That, you have Delivered, you have all of these. Okay, you have all of these different food places out there that Waiter was doing a good job. Okay, Waiter was doing a good job. The problem was, the direction and how the company was going was not going great. Investors were not happy. They have to go ahead and do a change with new representation as far as who took control over it and everything else like that. So all that stuff went in, and then what happened was they're starting to see that Uber. Like, you know how Uber Eats can still do Walmart Spark. You got Walmart Spark. You have Ship. You have Instacart. You have these, and even DoorDash does the shopping orders. Right now, Waiter says that it's going to be hard for them to shift over, get these contracts. Okay, it's going to be harder for them to shift over and get these contracts because of Instacart and all these other companies are already doing it. And drivers are already making money and doing what they have to do with those companies. So Waiter is pretty much like, we gotta fold. So now that is happening, they're saying that other food delivery companies and food apps are going to be following suit, going bankrupt. Now, I would like to say this. We know that whenever a new infrastructure is put in as far as business and how it's being ran across America, we have businesses that will flourish and grow. Then we have some businesses that will implode so that they can regroup and get it themselves. And then we have businesses that will be disintegrated. They will go away. Someone will buy them, get them out the way, or they'll take them and do something else with, which is why you're going to start seeing, Uber Eats, DoorDash are the main two. Grubhub will still probably be up there. Now, we do have Tony Delivers up there. He's up there in Seattle, brand new, doing it his own way. But it's going to be harder for a lot of these other companies to sustain their marketability, their profitability, and just to stay relevant. It's going to be very, very hard because they don't have the capital. They don't have the resources. They don't have the funding. They don't have what a lot of the big companies have. Uber has rideshare with the food. Lyft is just rideshare. DoorDash does their thing. They're not as large and as huge. And people, you gotta understand that Uber Eats has, it's in other countries also. DoorDash is also in other countries also, and it's known by other names, okay? So the company is there. Some of the smaller companies are gonna have a harder time keeping up and staying afloat. So will we see more and more food delivery apps going bankrupt? Yes. Going out of business? Yes. Is food delivery as a whole and a total going to go out of business and go bankrupt? No. Main reason is because, like in California, our thing that we have, the customers are paying us $1.99 every single time they order. That $1.99 goes into our Prop 22. So, and it goes into paying us and everything else that we going on there, right? So that's what it does. So let's say you deliver to the same person. Let's say, man, I delivered on Uber or on DoorDash twice to this person's house. So right there, that's $4 that person is paying to go into that. Now, let's say they order twice on DoorDash. Then, you know what? You're a DoorDasher going up and something else was ordered through another app. That's another $1.99. Some of these houses are paying like $10 a day as a household on fees that goes into helping out the delivery apps in the areas that you are in. So food delivery, to me, is not going to be going bankrupt, even though Waiter had to call quits. There will be other apps and other companies that will follow suit because they won't be able to keep up with the big guys and all these class action lawsuits that they have to pay money to. You will see companies fold. Now, this is a big one right here. A lot of you guys know that in the gig world, you know, we have some heavy hitters out there. A lot of us know that there is a content creator by the name of Nugs. I've been covering Nugs for a while. Nugs put me on his favorite list of, he said it's clickbait, but obviously, people, you guys see what I talk about. If it's up here, it's not clickbait. I talk about it. He was just doing that because he was Pedro's bosom buddy at a time. So that's what he was doing. But Nugs is back. And people, last time Nugs was here, he got shunned off because he got caught milking the clock on Earn by Time on DoorDash, and he was cheating. So he went away for a while. Now he is back. Now Nugs is doing the Earn by Time, and he is doing the Earn per Offer. Okay. He now says that he has come up with a new style of doing DoorDash that other people should figure out. Now, we do know that the DoorDash revolution is trying to be the king of all DoorDash, diamond orders, platinum programs, and everything. And he's trying to give you information on EPO, Earn by Time, and the platinum program, you know, the tier system. That Nug says that he has a better way on how to do it. Now, we hear the revolution say, well, you know what? Should I go EPO right now during this challenge, or should I go Earn by Time? And you see him going back and forth, doing whatever it is that he has to do. Now, he hasn't come up with a name for it, but Nugs has, people. Nugs is back. Nugs is back. And GDA, Gig Machine, I saw you did a collaboration with one of Nugs' videos. Nugs is one of the heavy hitters. I would suggest you not try to do that same battle and war that you had with Pedro to do that with Nugs. I suggest you strongly not to do that with Nugs. Nugs is a young kid. Well, he's young enough, and he doesn't live in St. Louis, even though he's met up with Pedro. Don't try to do the same thing over because you see someone else has like 60,000 subs. So Nugs also has a channel where he talks about fitness and things like that. I do also. People, go ahead and check out TTMATBF. Go check out No Good 44. You'll see me, myself, my wife, my clients, my kids. You'll see when my son was in the hospital having his heart surgery. You'll see some stuff from this channel also. Go ahead and check it out. But Nugs is back, and we're gonna look at what does he call this? And I want to get the reaction from the DoorDash revolution if he thinks that Nugs is trying to take over and steal what he does, because he says he's a trendsetter. But let's go ahead and get into Nugs, and let's see how Nugs is back. Because Nugs is back. 2024, brand new approach, he says. Let's go ahead and get into it. They're like, what? Nugs is back? Yeah, people, I'm the news, man. I cover people. I've been covering Nugs for a long time. Here we go.
This is DoorDash now. My very first order was going to a closed store. It was a Wendy's that is not open. Wendy's, you suck. Some things never change.
In 2024, my strategy is a little different than it was in the past. I now do what I call pay mode toggling, where given the time of day and the demand for orders in my area, I'll switch between Earn per Offer and Earn by Time based on what's going to make me more money at that given moment. And I'll show you what that looks like. Normally, in the morning before 11 a.m., I'll do Earn by Time. During lunch, I'll do Earn per Offer. From 2 to 5 p.m., I'll do Earn by Time. And dinner shift, I swap back to Earn per Offer. Basically, when things are slow, I use Earn by Time to minimize my downtime, and I usually make about the same per hour. Earn by Time just has me driving more miles. I actually...
All right, I don't know why I'm reading that comment that the dashing investor did. I don't know why Jeffrey Time gave him a slap yourself. We all read that. Does Jeffrey think that's a repeat? Does Jeffrey think that's a repeat? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I don't know, but Jeffrey, I don't know. You went rogue. Jeffrey went rogue. Let me go ahead and just do this. Most black people will tell you they don't hate white people. They just hate the people who hate black people. Black people hate racist white people, not all white people. Hey, that is what it is right there. I don't know why Jeffrey wasn't trying to I don't know why Jeffrey was tripping like that. I don't know why Jeffrey was tripping like that. That's normal to me. Jeffrey, I'm gonna have to go and see how you went nuts. But as you saw, Nug said that it's gonna be a toggle. I'll play it again for people who are driving in the gig community. I'll play what Nug said again so that you can hear it. Okay, one more time.
This is DoorDash now. My very first order was going to a closed store. It was a Wendy's that is not open. Wendy's, you suck. Some things never change.
In 2024, my strategy is a little different than it was in the past. I now do what I call pay mode toggling, where given the time of day and the demand for orders in my area, I'll switch between earn per offer and earn by time based on what's going to make me more money at that given moment. And I'll show you what that looks like. Normally, in the morning before 11 a.m., I'll do earn by time. During lunch, I'll do earn per offer. From 2 to 5 p.m., I'll do earn by time. And dinner shift, I swap back to earn per offer. Basically, when things are slow, I use earn by time to minimize my downtime, and I usually make about the same per hour. Earn by time just has me driving more miles. I actually...
All right. So he's toggling. He calls it a toggle. Toggle, earning your income by toggling back and forth. But as you see, he said, when times are slow in his area, he switches to earn by time because it'll keep him busy. And he said he normally makes the same amount as if he was on earn per offer. So then he switches to earn per offer because then he can cherry pick a little bit. Then at a different time, he goes back in. That might be a very great way for you guys to do it. And it may be a way for you guys to at least keep your acceptance rates from like tanking down so much. Because if you do a couple hours of earn by time, then you're accepting all your orders. So you're not turning them down. So with that being said right there, you're gonna be able to make sure your AR is gonna not really take that hit. But when you do go do EPO, you may just be a supreme cherry picker at that time and just be cherry, nonstop. Cherry, nonstop. But is that a good way to make your money? I do believe that if you see the benefits of it, I see that, you shouldn't do one and strictly one all the time. But see, I got to hear this. Dashing what John said, there's a problem with that method, though. Yes, there is a problem with that method, though, also. Type that in the chat, John. I want to hear it from you. I want to hear that from you. So there's a problem with that method, though. Yeah, people, look, or click the link if you want. Toggling back and forth. Do you think toggling back and forth, you will see the most benefits for you doing your thing? Nug says he makes about the same, or I'm saying this, like, let's say you do like earn by time, like for half your shift, and then you do it for and then you switch for the other half. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're doing too much, you're not doing too much back and forth for that. Let me see. All right, yeah. You're not doing too much back and forth. You gotta back up. You're actually able to get enough hours in on one and then do it the other way. Now, that's what he's doing. I don't know if that's the best way for everyone to go ahead and try, but he's utilizing this toggle mode as he's claiming as an effective way to get the job done on DoorDash. Let me know what you think about that. If that is something that you are doing now, or is it something that you considered? Let me know. And then, Nugs brought this in. So chances are we're going to hear Pedro and we're going to hear a bunch of people on the bandwagon jumping on and saying, I'm doing the toggle like Nugs, do it like that. You're going to see that the toggle may get some popularity and people may want to do it a little more. You may start seeing that, and you will see people talking about it more. Nugs came back out with it. No one else has done a video on it, but I do know the DoorDash revolution he speaks on, going from earn by time and then going to EPO. He does do that. Also, no one's hearing it from him, but we all know how it goes when people have a certain feeling about someone and someone else gives out the information like that. They'll go ahead and go with the information on who they think that they like, even though the same information is going out. I do give the revolution credit for that he has been showing people earn by time, EPO, going in and going out. Nugs is doing this. He's hopping in. We now got to figure out if Nugs is stepping on the revolution's toes, or if the revolution is going to feel that way. We all know he feels a certain way whenever he's involved. Someone's stealing this. Someone's copying this. Someone said that I did something, just like me, people. He said, he got out the car aggressively and he had something on him. I never said that. Played the video back and all that other great stuff. Did all of that. So, and that stuff was a lie. So we'll see that if he is going to make a video about Nugs and saying that we got someone coming out trying to take my ideas, I'm supposed to be the original teacher of the DoorDash. That's what's going on. But is this toggle mode effective? I can say that it is possibly effective if I do the split shift, like acting like half and half, like doing a couple hours here, then going there, then do a couple hours here, doing there. I feel that might be, I got somebody coming on up. I think it's John. That might be that might be a little tricky there. That might be a little tricky there. Let me go ahead and bring John on up to the stage because I want to hear what he got to say about this. Doing that toggle, because it like he pretty much is like toggling, every couple hours. It seems like a couple hours here, couple hours there, couple hours here. What do you feel about that one, John?
Well, truthfully, it depends on one thing. Like, because everybody knows or should know, like he should have done a disclaimer because you have new people on here, that if you go to earn by time, you get no shop and pay orders. A lot of people depend on their shop and pay orders. A lot of people in their market, their shop and pay orders are amazing. So if you do earn by time, you get zero. It shuts you right out of the shop and pay orders. Also, I did it for 2 days, all day. I wanted to just test it out, not little pieces here and there. I got out of 48 orders I did in 2 days, 3 of them tipped. I got 45 orders that didn't tip. So I'm getting paid $4 to go 8 miles, $3 to go 7 miles, $6 to go 10 miles. Like DoorDash, that's where they get the bad orders taken, is in the earn by time, because it looks so pretty. It says we're going to pay you X amount of dollars per hour. Unless you live in a market where you have long waits and long drives, say it only takes you 20 seconds to get your food and it takes you 8 minutes to go deliver it. If there's a no tip order in that, it's paying you $2.50, maybe $3. Because it's sneaking in those bad orders through earn by time.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they're doing with the earn by time. Those orders that normally would sit, that's how they got to get those orders out. You know what I mean? They got to get those orders out that way, or it's just going to be a big mess. It's just going to. I'm in a bad reception zone, so sorry about.
No, you're good. Which
yeah, I'm in a terrible. Go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say, which is why on the face of it, unless you live in a market that's going to give you like peak pay plus you have a higher hourly rate with long wait times, it's really not worth it. Like my area, it's $12.50 an hour, but all my The longest I'll wait in my area for anything is 2 minutes. I get $20 shopping pay orders. The only thing I'll recommend earn by time for, at least in my area, is if you need to get your acceptance rate up. That's it.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You know, the earn by time is a sure way to get your acceptance rate up. That's why I was saying, well, if he's doing it like that, doing the earn by time and then doing the EPO, he might be doing the earn by time like that just so his AR don't tank too low. You know what I mean?
Well, and he also needs to not be reckless, and he needs to tell people that. Like, I didn't see the whole video, but he should say, this is only a good method if you're a top dasher. Because if you have to schedule and you end your dash on an EPO or EBT, then guess what? You can't get back on. Like, give all give all the information.
Yeah, because check this out. You're gonna get someone that's gonna say, well, let me try it. And they like, man, I tried that and I couldn't get back on DoorDash all damn day. I had to wait till the next day.
And also tell people, hey, this works for my area because maybe we have peak pay a lot. It's $19 an hour, and there's a long waits in my area for the food, so it works out for me better. Like, if you watch all my videos, it's very informative to my market, and I always say that. Like, you always have to preface, because you have new dashers that jump on here all the time that'll be like, oh, let me try that, but not giving all the information. So if you go by new guys, I do. Yeah, I do believe you got to give that information out. You can't be hiding information. No, hell no. Like, it's just, I personally, for my market, it's not good. It's horrible. But I have no wait times, and in my area, they give you the 10 miles on earn by time with no tip. So literally, I can't tell you how many 10 plus miles I had where the highest it paid me was $4. I made $60 in 7 hours the first day doing it. And you know as well as I can pull $200 days in that same amount of time. I'll be back. Oh, you're good. Okay, I'm back. No, this zone right here is. I try to stay away from this spot when I'm going live, because this spot right here, for some reason, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. But I don't know if you heard me, but on Earn by Time, I made $60 in 7 hours, and you know as well as I do, I can make $200 in that same amount of time on Earn by order. Earn per offer. Yeah, and look. 6-7 hours. If you got the active hours in for that right there, people, you should be up to where John is saying. So, people, you also got to know that this is market specific also. Because now he said, those 6 hours was $60. Now, people, market specific. You may be in an area where them 6 hours on earn by time, it's lovely, but that's probably because you're in a super metropolitan market, market. That's where that can probably happen. If you're in a little bit of a rural area, it's a suburb area, a little bit more spread out, it's gonna be difficult for you there. So make sure when you guys are trying to go and do these, you see these guys, I'm gonna do a $400 challenge today. Well, you know what you should do? Write them a comment on the video, or write them a comment to see if they reply, to see if they engage with the people who watch the stuff, and ask them, what type of market are you in? Because I want to try it, but I don't want to try it if I don't know. Do things like that. Use those comments to those content creators so that they can let you know. Because let me tell you this: when they make these videos, they're not thinking about everybody. They just thinking about how good is that video for me. But you got to also understand that when you're in social media, they say you're an influencer also. So you want to make sure that your influence is going to steer someone in the right way. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
That's what I feel about that. I mean, yeah, just got to be responsible with your influence. Is all I got to say. Like I said, I got no problem with Nugs. I watch Nug stuff. I used to watch it all the time, not so much anymore. But more and more people have to be specific in their videos about, hey, this is good in my market, maybe not yours. You just don't hear that enough. They roll the video out, they edit it out, make it look real pretty, real sleek, and it's getting 60,000 views, and maybe 40 people out of those 60,000 views try it, and it's horrible for them. If you would have let them know, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this, and this is why, because my area is good, then maybe they wouldn't do it. This way, if you're specific with them, they can be like, oh shit, my market's like that too. Let me try it. Not just blindly go out there.
Yeah. And then check this out. That's why the advice I like to give, I know every market is different. So what I like to do is this. How can I help someone in a different market that's not mine and still have them be successful? That's why I like to teach about the customer service, the business aspect, you know, why you should have this type of equipment. All of those things right there can go into any market to help you out in those markets. You know what I mean? You need that stuff there to help you out in any market. Outside of that, people, you gotta put your boots to the ground and go learn your market. How John knows. John is the first person I interviewed and been interviewed by, from Pedro to UDMs to all of them, that knew how many businesses were in the area compared to the population of the people. Not one content creator that I have ever interviewed have came with that information. So that's what I mean. You got to put your boots to the ground and understand your market right there. He's the only one that's ever done that. So good job on that one, G. Good job on that one.
Well, thank you. And like I said, like the information I give, you give, it's general, that works in all the markets. But unfortunately, I'm not in St. Louis. I'm not in San Francisco. I'm not in Texas. I'm not in Florida. I can't specifically help you. Like maybe if you're in a rural area, I can help you because I'm in that type of area too. But I can't help everybody. And I can't go to people's markets and figure it out for them. Unfortunately, I'd love to, but I ain't got that much damn time. But yeah, you just got to kind of put the work in yourself and study. Like it's not just as simple. I say this all the time as turning on and going. You have to pay attention. You have to know where your good orders are coming from, where your bad ones are coming from, what time your catering orders start coming out, where you need to be when your catering orders start coming out. You just need to know exactly where to be and where not to be at the times.
Right. Hey, John, let me ask you this, John. Let me ask you this. People was like, dang, Reese be doing gig work, he be doing this. The hot seat is crazy. He be going nuts on the hot seat. People, the hot seat, look, I'm gonna be all the way real. The hot seat is kind of like a therapy session for me too. You know how they tell people go into a scream room, go in there and scream and do whatever you want, smash room? That is the hot seat for me, people. I'm able to look at stuff going on and speak how I feel about it and get it all the way out. That's what the hot seat is for me. But I want to ask you this. How you see me doing the hot seat, and then at the end, I throw in gig stuff and it calms down. Ain't that kind of funny how it goes from it goes from turned up to 1,000, and then we start talking about gig work at the end, and look, that's the woo side. The gig work is the woo side of it. Woo! So I end it, so I bring it down with the gig work, but it's turned up. Hopefully you guys are liking the hot seat, people. Look, the hot seat is there to push buttons. It's there to push buttons and to call out real life reality that people may not know what they're putting out there. And, you know, if you don't know what you're putting out there, the hot seat, we will go ahead and call it out. The argument with myself and Real Talk with Roy, people, and Roy was on the hot seat for it. And Roy said, the video, I put the live to a video. He did put it back to a live, but he got on the hot seat to clear it up, and then we went into the rest. That was a full example of what I'm looking for on the hot seat for all type of fiery debates, we didn't call each other punks or bitches, or we didn't do any of that. It was just a heated argument about the thing right there. That's what the hot seat is all about. And believe it or not, Roy might feel a certain way, but I thank him for it because he was able to voice himself. I voiced myself. You know, people, it was some entertainment there. I had to mute him twice. You know what I mean? It was some entertainment there. People was like, no one mutes Roy, but I did twice. So that's the entertainment. That's the entertainment there. So, you know, I put that in there, but hopefully you guys get into it. Now, you know, it's crazy how we got these crazy things that happen all around that's going on and no one talks about them. So it is what the hot seat's all about. And when I did tell you guys that I was actively looking for a racist driver last year, I'm still doing it. But now that all these topics are coming up and people are speaking about them, I don't have to go interview one. I can just watch what they're saying to other people and then put them on the hot seat. And then we can just go from there and then let you guys know that these attitudes are still going into the gig work and talking to customers and merchants. So when people say I'm not getting my tips, this area is bad and all this other stuff, I like to bring in the political issues and things like that to the forefront so that you can understand it may not be what you think. There's other issues on why other people are not making money in other areas. And typically it has to do normally with race, money, and pretty much it's race and money. With the politicians is how many votes can they get? You know what I mean? You know, how many sponsors can I get to go ahead and help out? You know, it's all about race and money. And you can't have anything, especially in America, without race and money because we're supposed to be a melting pot. We have the most different countries and ethnic groups living in one spot than any other place around the world. So, you know, if we don't talk about it, it's kind of crazy because we got it all going on.
I mean, well, the crazy thing is you want to interview somebody like that, you can read between these lines. I got a feeling after November, you probably get all the crazy racist people you want to come interview. I think some people will be more emboldened after November to talk crazy in public.
Right.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
And yep, I sure do. And my thing is, I forget, there's a black guy that I forget his name, but he's really, really smart. And he's the only black guy that the higher ups in the Klan will sit down and do an interview with.
Oh,
and yeah, that guy, he's the person that inspired me to want to do it. And I was like, holy shit, people think I want to get up and yell. And no, I want to sit down with the person and actually have that conversation. Now, your point of views and how you feel, I want to hear all of that. That inspired me to want to do it. And you know, people, that's still a mission of mine. Like, I want to do it, and it'll happen. And like he said, after November, people, you know, we give people, we just had the Trump guy set up his whole stand selling all this stuff here with the bullets, with the bullet mugs and all the other stuff. He had it all set up right here. So people, it's, you know, as time gets closer to what it is, you'll see more and more people start to open up. But until that time comes, people, the only way I can do it is if I catch you speaking on someone's channel on a panel. That's the only way I can do it. So don't get mad at me if you end up on the hot seat for some statements you said on a live stream. It's public, okay? It's public. Just like when someone says something crazy, like at the Oscars, and they can hear him on the mic. Everyone's gonna know, you know, people were watching it. That's just the way it is. When Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, everybody knew about it. It was on live TV. The revolution got pulled over on doing a live stream. It's on live TV. So, you know, you can't assume that you're private when you're on a live stream, people. And I think as grown adults, you should understand that.
Yeah. And also remember, guys, you can't have talks with about race without representation of all people. That's just stupid. You have to have representatives of whatever race you're talking about, like the 4 people you had on showing the little live or whatever. I know you showed a second one, and there was representation in that one, but they were toned down a little bit. But I don't like that kind of talk because honestly, like I'm Mexican American, so like I'm my own different little thing, but I just think it's bullshit that you can try to talk all this way when you're comfortable around your white folk friend or your black folk friend, but then you won't come out and talk that same way in public or with those people in your company, so to speak. And you can't get anywhere with just white people talking in a room or just black folk talking in a room. Like that doesn't progress. We don't progress anything with that. That's what we like to call Klan meetings or Black Panther meetings. Like, yeah, it has to be kind of mixed.
It's got to be mixed. And then check this out, John. You know, my wife is Mexican, Peruvian, and Italian, right? But I grew up in Paramount, Linwood, Compton, the Long Beach area. That's all my homies. You know, that's all Bonifacio and Johnny Boy and all them. Those my homies. Those my homies. Look, when we get together, they speak freely to me about how they feel. When they know, all right, people, I'm gonna give you an example. You can live someplace, right? And you know, in certain areas in certain cities to where, you know, it's a little racial in those areas, meaning gangs, okay? Certain spots where you can just be a regular citizen, you can go to a grocery store and get picked on and stuff. And you know, my SA homies, you know, I say SA homies just to say Mexican. It's a California thing, people. So don't try to say he's calling them gang members. No, that's just all right. My Mexican homies, you know, they be like, hey, Reese, bro, what's up with all them blacks over there off of this street, man? Why them black people over there don't like me? They'll tell me just like that.
Yeah.
They'll tell me just like that. And guess what? I'll be asking them, you know, hey, the last time I was in Hawaiian Gardens, yo, homies threw rocks at my mom's van. You know, we say stuff like that. We talk like that. This ain't no, you know, this and that, but there's a representative that can give feedback so that you can get a better understanding of what's going on. Because how they went on Dennis's show last night and Thunder didn't say nothing. He stayed quiet pretty much the whole time. They got up there and toned it on down. There was no they, them. When he said everything else, he didn't say they do this. He said, well, I want to ask you. And then there was none of that. Like you said, it was toned down. I'm like, man, keep that same energy. If you say that they justify their bullshit, who is they? Who is they? Now you're saying they as a people is fucking everybody. Like how I said, when I say they or them, it's not all white people or Mexicans or Asians. Like if I'm talking about these guys, I'm gonna say what group? I'm gonna say these neo-Nazis. And I'm gonna include everything that goes in those guys. That's not every white person. I'm talking about those guys.
Like
so you don't say they and them. You're talking about a whole race now. That's prejudice. You gotta separate that shit.
Like I'll give you an example. Like I said, because like if you talk, because you got to have uncomfortable talks to progress in life with things. It has to be uncomfortable. It can't be comfortable. To only get somewhere, it's got to be uncomfortable. But that'd be like me going to you, Reese, and being like, hey, Reese, man, you know, there's a stereotype about all black people, you know, smoking weed, getting white girls pregnant and not working. What's up with that? Like what's that gonna push saying it? Like, you know what I mean? Like you speak for every, you know what I mean? Like, but that, like,
he gonna put me up there. Speak for all 19 billion of them. It's you. I'm like, damn, G. I'm like, I don't know.
Like, but that happens.
I only know about me. Yeah,
but that
I only know about me.
In my town all the time. Like, I got older white folk. I be like thinking they comfortable because I'm white, and they being like, "Hey, do you know? What do you think about this?" And like, I'm like, "The hell if I know?" Like, I got no skin in the game. Like, it's just. But that's the kind of talk that's not going to progress you anywhere. Like, you got to have uncomfortable conversations, but it's got to be respectful too. You can't just be like, "Hey, what do you think?" Like, it has to be respectful, and there can't be loud voices being brought up. Like, race can be very uncomfortable, and it should be, but it needs to happen more. But it needs to happen with people who are willing to listen. No one's willing to raise their, because look, at the end of the day, two people can disagree as long as they do it respectfully. Like I hear about you and like Pedro says about you all the time. He's like, me and him don't agree very often, but I respect him. I respect what he's doing and stuff like that. So like, same thing with race. Like you can not agree, but be respectful, hear other people's plight, because it's not just, it's like, look, like we forgetting about the Indians that come over here, and you know what happened to them. Like they was kind of here for a while, and we kind of just took up everything. And then you get into Texas, you got the Mexicans was up in there. We took that from them. Like we live in a big like white people.
Then they killed John. Then they killed all the buffaloes. They killed all the buffaloes so the Indians couldn't get no food or stay warm and shit. They killed over 1 million buffaloes to try to take out their livelihood so they can take over. People, I know you guys like Davy Crockett and all that stuff, but you guys got to understand, we was taking over. The U.S. was taking over shit. You know what I'm saying? Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. I used to love Davy Crockett in his coonskin hat when I was a kid, people. I had the record. I used to listen to the record every single day. That was my favorite record. My mom used to play it for me. I used to love that. But when you get older, you be like, damn, Davy. You be like, damn, I was rocking with Davy like that. I was rocking with him like that.
And then you starting to like, man, why would mom let me rock with Davy like that?
Yeah. Let me rock with Davy. But people, it's like that. The Indians, you know, and here is the thing that, you know, the United States could not do. There's certain things about this land that they need the Indians here for. You know, poisons and all that shit. So they were like, we're gonna go ahead and do this. But I'm gonna tell you this: when them Indians said we finna put casinos on our land, oh, America wasn't ready for that. They were not ready for that. They got Chris Tucker and Sinbad at the casinos doing comedy and stuff. You know, they got all you can eat lobster and all this stuff. And they making some serious money. Making some serious money. So
and the one thing I'll say, and then I'll let you get back to your show. I'll stop hijacking it.
No, you all right.
The one thing, like you always hear some people of obviously white folk a lot say, what are you talking about? We've come a long way. You should be happy. And I always say, yeah, we've come a long way, but we can keep going. We can keep moving forward. Because I hear that a lot too. Like, look, like I ain't trying to front, but here in Virginia, at least in my part, ain't they kind of racist here for real. Like
yeah, you got the Klan in Virginia. It's the Klan up there too.
Are you kidding me? I got the Klan 3 blocks away from me at the Moose Lodge.
Yeah,
they hold
right there.
They hold meetings there every week and they publicize it. It's on flyers in my town. It's just, swear to God, you'll see on the little telephone poles, Klan rally, Moose Lodge, yada yada yada.
See, that's what I'm talking about. People, when I tell people that, they're like, no. Here in California, people, the skinhead capital in the world is Huntington Beach. You go to people, world famous Venice Beach. Hulk Hogan out there lifting weights on Muscle Beach. Venice Beach has a side by the basketball courts. That's where the skinheads be hanging out. They up there, deep up there, people. They all over. And guess what? All on the poles, you'll see where it says, if you're interested, you want to join a different group and things like that. They have that stuff put up there. It's like that. A lot of you guys be like, nah, he's lying, he's making it up. We live in these areas. So you got to understand, like John said, the Klan is like 3 blocks away, right? So you got to understand, people, when someone's doing deliveries in that area, you're going to be dropping off to Klan houses. Some of them Klan people ain't going to be tipping you because of who you are. When you show up, I ain't going to give you no tip. It ain't because you didn't do nothing right. They just don't want to give it to you because of who you are. Okay, you got to be a different type of black person for them to want to give you that tip. You got to be like Benson. You gotta be like Jeffrey from Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like you gotta be like that, or yeah, for it to happen.
White folk love Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, Jello pudding pop.
But
hello, DoorDash for Ed Beery. Ed Beery. EDEBIRI. Alrighty.
Yeah, look, we got somebody with a weird name, and the people in Popeye don't know how to say the name either to confirm the order.
I don't even try when it comes to those names, boy. I get them
I'm sorry?
all the time.
No, it starts with an E. D-E. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh
All right,
wow.
thank you.
That was 3 butcheries of the name. I said it. I butchered it inside my head. I didn't say it out loud. I butchered it.
She's a Caitlin.
My wife was like, nah, look, the person that Popeye said Caitlin, no, it ain't no Caitlin. It's like Edibiri or something weird. Something weird. But yeah, people, when you're going to these places, people, it's Supreme Clan who all live in this area, man. Those are the areas where you see the videos on YouTube where the black delivery driver was followed by an off-duty sheriff because he was doing deliveries late at night, and they called the police on him because he was black in that area. He was actually in a racist area, people, and that's what happens. There's areas where I don't even go deliver to out here because I know about the area. I'm not gonna make the money I can in that area because of what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, John. I can't. Thanks for stopping by. I can't make the money in those areas because it's racial. Okay, it's racial there. So when it's racial, chances are you're not going to make that money, people. But like John said, we got to have more conversations about race and things like that because it's not a fun and nice conversation, but it can be. You just got to know how. I was banned again from Royce for him having an argument with me about this stuff, which makes no sense. So that makes him like a big crybaby because he banned me like Eli. So people, we can't be acting like that and then go up on another black show where there were other black people up there who were speaking and actually, doing it and then asking y'all questions, and y'all ain't even like speaking on it like that because y'all in front of black people. I thought that was crazy that you would ban me, but go up to a place and then downplay it. And then Thunder just really didn't know what to say. Like when Dennis said, well, what about us in our community calling the police on each other or telling on people? He was saying our community. He was talking about the black community. And whenever he said that, like I said inside the chat, ask Thunder a specific question directly about it. He runs away from it. That's one of the biggest signs of being prejudiced. Whenever you say something about something like that, he always runs to something else. Like, well, when I hitchhike, we ain't talking about hitchhiking, man. We talking about this issue. Come on now. And next time, have somebody black up there and don't have Marcus feel like he has to apologize when he has to speak his mind because it's more you than it is him. Right, Chair? The Amazing Hustler. You got to fix that, G. We already said we was going to be doing more work and appearing. You wanted me to go in there to be a correspondent for the news, but one of your moderators did something dirty. So we got to fix that. We got to fix that. They're going to mess up a good black connection there of two people who can articulate themselves and have discussions and go over great topics without having any issues. So we got to get that fixed. And the person that's a moderator that did that, shame on you. And I pretty much, when I'm going to start my investigation, I'm starting off with the person with the name That Chick, because that's the same person who's over on Roy's. And coincidentally, I cannot be on the guy's show who told me I'm welcome. He wants me to be this and to come on up. So rogue moderators, you need to be checked. Everybody, all your moderators don't have the best interest for your channel. Okay, think about that. Thank you for joining the hot seat. And all you people with these soft minds and don't know how to speak and things like that, you ban people for having conversations. When you get put on the hot seat, when you talk a certain way about other races and you go to another show and tone it down. Thank you guys for joining. Now we will get some final words. You got some final words?
Be good to each other and be mindful of what you put out there on YouTube.
You guys heard that. Now, we out of here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. Don't be afraid, y'all. And look, we after that black mayor. We don't like her. Y'all say something about that. Come on, StreamYard, quit tripping.